The First Crusade, a turning point in medieval history. Amidst the cold embrace of late November in the year 1095, a momentous event unfolded that would reverberate through the annals of history. In the bustling town of Clermont, nestled in the heart of France, an extraordinary assembly gathered. Nobles adorned in armor, clergy draped in ecclesiastical robes, and common folk huddled together, their breaths visible in the crisp air. They awaited the address of a man whose words would ignite a movement unprecedented in scale and ambition. Pope Urban II ascended a makeshift platform, his gaze sweeping over the expectant faces. With a voice that carried both fervor and authority, he declared the inception of the First Crusade, a call to arms that would forever alter the course of medieval Europe and the wider world. To fully comprehend the significance of Pope Urban II's proclamation, we must journey back into the intricate tapestry of 11th century Europe, a continent in the throes of transformation, grappling with feudal conflicts, and bound by a unifying thread of Christian faith. The era was marked by fragmented kingdoms, incessant skirmishes, and a populace yearning for purpose beyond the ceaseless cycle of warfare and toil. The Byzantine Empire, a bastion of Christianity in the East, stood beleaguered by the relentless advance of the Seljuk Turks. The catastrophic defeat at the Battle of Manzikert in 1071 had left the empire reeling, its Anatolian heartland slipping away. Emperor Alexios von Komnenos, recognizing the dire straits of his realm, extended an unprecedented plea to the West. He sought military aid from Pope Urban II, a move that carried the potential to mend the schism between the Eastern Orthodox and Roman Catholic churches, a rift that had deepened since the Great Schism of 1054. For Pope Urban II, this appeal presented a multifaceted opportunity. It was a chance to assert the supremacy of the papacy, to unite the fractious nobles of Europe under a holy mission, and to redirect their martial energies away from internecine conflicts. Moreover, aiding the Byzantine Empire could pave the way toward healing the divisions within Christendom. The Council of Clermont was convened in November 1095, originally intended to address ecclesiastical reforms and curb the excesses of the clergy. However, the events of November 27th would eclipse all other matters. An immense crowd gathered in an open field, too vast for any cathedral to contain. The atmosphere was electric with anticipation. Pope Urban II stood before them, his presence commanding and his intent resolute. He delivered a sermon that was both impassioned and strategic, designed to stir the deepest convictions of his audience. He spoke of the holy city of Jerusalem, sacred to all Christians, languishing under Muslim control. He recounted tales, some accurate, others embellished, of Christian pilgrims harassed, churches desecrated, and the faithful oppressed. His words painted a stark dichotomy of good versus evil, righteousness against heresy. From Jerusalem and the city of Constantinople, grievous tidings have gone forth. An accursed race, alienated from God, has invaded the lands of those Christians and depopulated them by the sword, pillage, and fire. He implored the knights and nobles to turn their swords toward this noble cause, assuring them that such an endeavor was not merely permitted but divinely mandated. The response was instantaneous and overwhelming. A chorus of voices erupted with the rallying cry, Deus vult, God wills it. The fervor was palpable, transcending social boundaries and igniting a collective zeal. Pope Urban II capitalized on this momentum, offering absolution and eternal salvation to all who would take up the cross. The promise of spiritual redemption, coupled with the prospect of adventure and potential wealth, proved an irresistible allure. As the news of the call to crusade spread across Europe, it sparked a wildfire of enthusiasm. Men and women from all walks of life, knights, peasants, the devout, and the destitute, prepared to embark on the arduous journey to the Holy Land. This groundswell of participation led to the formation of multiple waves of crusaders, including the ill-fated People's Crusade, led by Peter the Hermit. Lacking military discipline and sufficient resources, many of these early zealots met tragic ends before even reaching their destination. The First Crusade was a complex undertaking, fueled by a myriad of motivations. For some, it was an act of profound piety, a pilgrimage to the sacred sites of their faith. For others, it was an opportunity for economic advancement, land acquisition, or the shedding of feudal obligations. The crusade became a vessel for personal ambition cloaked in the mantle of religious duty. The journey to the Holy Land was fraught with peril. Crusaders traversed vast distances, enduring harsh climates, treacherous terrain, and scarce supplies. They faced not only external enemies, but also internal strife, as leaders vied for command and disagreements threatened to fracture their unity. Yet, buoyed by their conviction and the belief in divine favor, they pressed onward. Significant victories marked their progress. The siege of Nicaea in 1097 resulted in the city's surrender, bolstering the Crusaders' confidence. The Battle of Dorylaeum tested their mettle against formidable Seljuk forces, ending in a hard-fought triumph. The protracted siege of Antioch tested the limits of their endurance, culminating in a dramatic capture that seemed to affirm their ordained mission. Finally, in July 1099, after a grueling siege, the Crusaders breached the walls of Jerusalem. What followed was a brutal and unforgiving massacre of the city's Muslim and Jewish inhabitants, a dark and tragic episode that underscored the merciless nature of medieval warfare. The capture of Jerusalem was heralded as a divine victory, and the establishment of the Kingdom of Jerusalem marked the zenith of the First Crusade. The aftermath of the Crusade reshaped the geopolitical landscape. The creation of Crusader states in the Levant introduced a new dynamic to the region, necessitating ongoing military support and leading to subsequent crusades. These states became centers of cultural exchange, albeit under the shadow of continual conflict. The impact of the First Crusade on European society was profound. It altered the social fabric, as many nobles and knights who departed for the East left behind power vacuums that shifted the feudal balance. Monarchs like King Philip III of France and King Henry I of England seized the opportunity to consolidate power, laying foundations for the development of stronger centralized states. Economically, the Crusades stimulated trade and the growth of merchant classes. Italian city-states such as Venice, Genoa, and Pisa capitalized on the demand for transportation and supplies, expanding their influence and wealth. The opening of new trade routes facilitated the exchange of goods like spices, silks, and precious metals, enriching European markets and broadening horizons. Culturally, the Crusades were a conduit for the transmission of knowledge. Crusaders encountered advanced civilizations with sophisticated sciences, medicine, and philosophy. The translation of Arabic texts into Latin introduced Europe to the works of Aristotle, Avicenna, and Al-Khwarizmi, among others. These intellectual treasures challenged existing paradigms and sowed seeds that would eventually blossom during the Renaissance. The Crusades also spurred the evolution of military and religious institutions. The formation of military orders, such as the Knights Templar, the Knights Hospitaller, and the Teutonic Knights, exemplified a fusion of martial prowess and monastic discipline. These orders played pivotal roles in both the defense of the Crusader states and the politics of Europe, wielding considerable influence. However, the legacy of the First Crusade is not without its shadows. The violence inflicted upon Muslim and Jewish populations left deep scars and fostered animosities that would persist for generations. The siege of Jerusalem, in particular, stands as a stark reminder of the capacity for cruelty under the guise of religious zeal. Moreover, the Crusades exacerbated tensions between the Eastern and Western Christian churches. Despite initial hopes, the actions of the Crusaders often alienated the Byzantines, culminating in events like the sack of Constantinople during the Fourth Crusade, a betrayal that cemented the schism. The First Crusade's contribution to the development of humanity is thus a complex tapestry. It was a catalyst for change, propelling Europe out of its relative isolation and into a broader engagement with the world. The cross-pollination of cultures enriched societies on both sides, even as conflicts wrought devastation. The Crusades underscore the profound influence of ideology and faith in shaping history. They highlight how collective belief can mobilize entire populations toward monumental endeavors for both noble and ignoble ends. The echoes of Pope Urban II's call at Clermont remind us of the enduring power of rhetoric and leadership. As we reflect on this epical event, we recognize that the First Crusade was more than a military campaign. It was a pivotal chapter in the human story. It serves as a testament to the complexities of human nature, the capacity for both great achievements and profound tragedies. The lessons gleaned from this era continue to resonate, offering insights into the forces that drive societies toward unity or division. In today's interconnected world, the legacy of the First Crusade invites us to consider the consequences of our actions on the global stage. It encourages a deeper understanding of history to inform our present and guide our future, fostering dialogue over discord and knowledge over ignorance. If the saga of the First Crusade has intrigued you, we invite you to delve deeper into this fascinating period. Check out the links in our description and the first pinned comment, where we've curated a selection of insightful books that explore the intricacies of this era. These resources offer a comprehensive look at the events, motivations, and ramifications of the Crusades, providing greater clarity and understanding. Thank you for joining us on this historical journey. If you found this narrative enlightening, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for more stories that illuminate the past and enrich our appreciation of the world's rich tapestry. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep the flame of curiosity alive.